Hi, it's Katrina! From strange sounds coming from telephone poles to patches in the earth supposedly created by dragons, here are 10 places that science can't explain. Number 10. The Zone of Silence. The Zone of Silence, often called Mexico's Bermuda Triangle, is a region of the Chihuahuan Desert in the north of the country where radio signals don't work, and weirdly, compasses go haywire if they are placed close to the ground. These strange phenomena occur in a space that's about 30 miles across, in a nature reserve that's sparsely populated. For decades, there have been reports of strange lights in the sky and a heightened number of meteor showers compared with other places. The strange effect in this area seems to reach up high into the sky, too. In 1970, an Athena rocket was launched from a U.S. Air Force base in Utah to study the atmosphere, and rather than landing in New Mexico as intended, for some reason it lost all communication and landed within the Zone of Silence. The leading theory as to why this is such a strange place is said to be a result of numerous meteor impacts here, which have changed the magnetism of the underlying rock. Scientists aren't fully convinced by this, though, and many believe that the increased impacts are as a result of the strange forces here, as opposed to the other way around. Number 9. The Hessdalen Lights. About 250 miles from Oslo, the capital city of Norway, is a mysterious valley known as the Hessdalen site. Visitors here have witnessed peculiar lights hovering in the sky. Rather than having a reasonable explanation like the northern lights, these lights are usually described as flashing orbs that vary in size from small specks of light to ones the size of cars that light up the sky. Some slowly rise into the night over a number of hours, while others streak across the valley in a matter of seconds. Pretty weird, right? This display has, of course, piqued the interest of scientists, researchers, and ufologists for decades, especially as it's something not seen anywhere else in the world. There are theories as to what causes these flashes, ranging from alien contact to natural layers of metals within the ground that act like a battery and release energy periodically. There's still great debate about the true reason, though, and for the meantime, the Hessdalen Lights continue to be an awe-inspiring sight for anyone who sees them. Number 8. The Taos Hum. Taos is a small, arty community in New Mexico that's been the home to a number of stars over the years, such as Julia Roberts and D.H. Lawrence. Since the early 90s, however, a strange hum has been reported that's turned this once quiet town into a mystery, with about 2% of residents stating that they have heard the sound. Sensitive recording equipment has been set up, but so far it has been unable to detect anything unusual. And to make things even weirder, various people have described the sound in a different way, either like a hum, a whir, or a buzz. Some people have even said that they can't even function properly because of the noise. The frustrating thing for researchers is that they can't be certain if there truly is a hum in Taos, let alone what might be causing it if it does actually exist. Still, it seems like far too many people are hearing something for it to be made up. For now at least, the Taos Hum remains unexplained. And now for number 7. But first, if you are new here, be sure to subscribe and join the Origins Explained family. If you enjoy videos like these, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Number 7. Bigelow Ranch. Robert Bigelow, the renowned aviation pioneer, had another hobby other than selling planes: researching the paranormal. This led to his purchase of the Skinwalker Ranch in the mid-90s to head up his research, but this place itself is full of mystery. Its strangeness was first revealed when its previous owners moved in a few years before. They were a Mormon family who had bought the 480-acre plot in Utah with the intent of living a simpler life. They soon found things to be more complicated than expected, though, after they had some scary encounters with wolves, seemingly 3 times larger than normal and impossible to kill with bullets. Furthermore, their cattle were frequently mutilated, with all of their reproductive organs sucked out, and countless mysterious lights in the sky. These stories, of course, became of interest to UFO hunters, which is why Bigelow purchased the land. But even if you take the fantastical elements of the story away, science has yet to explain what remains. Why were the wolves so much larger here and not elsewhere nearby? And what was mutilating the cattle in such horrific ways? The truth is out there, but for the time being, this scary place has many secrets. Number 6. The Devil's Kettle. The Devil's Kettle is a stunning waterfall in the Brule River in the Judge C.R. Magny State Park in Minnesota. While the picturesque formation has attracted visitors for decades, there's a mystery about the flow of water here. As it approaches the waterfall, the Brule River splits into 2. Half of it cascades down to the lower part and continues on, while the rest falls into an ominous-looking dark hole in the hill, and from there it seemingly vanishes. But where does this water go? People have tried numerous methods to find out, even resorting to dropping rubber ducks and ping pong balls into the hole to see where they reappear, but without any luck. Many speculate that it leads to a hidden underground river network that leads into the faraway Lake Superior, or perhaps even a vast underground cavern. No one has dared jump in to find out yet what is happening with that black hole. In recent years, scientists have measured the water flow and shown that a short distance beyond the waterfall, the flow on the river is the same as before it was split, which suggests that the mysterious vanishing water is rejoining soon after its deep dive. But this still doesn't explain why there's no trace of any objects that have gone down the hole, and there isn't enough proof to bring any conclusions about these falls. Number 5. The San Luis Valley. The San Luis Valley in southwest Colorado has been an attraction for UFO hunters for a long time, so much so that it's the home to a UFO watchtower constructed to help people look out for the unexplained. Whether you believe in UFOs or not, this place is home to some very unusual phenomenon, with sightings of lights in the sky being documented all the way back to the 1600s. People see these mysterious illuminations darting back and forth across the night sky, and during the day there are accounts of ball and saucer-shaped objects becoming visible through the clouds. With so many sightings, there's definitely something unusual going on here, but as of yet, no better explanation has been put forth about what's causing it. Science has yet to provide an answer, so for the time being, the UFO hunters continue to believe. Number 4. Namibia's fairy circles. For hundreds of years, deep in the Namib Desert of Namibia, mysterious circles have been appearing in the sand. Resembling a polka dot pattern, they are often referred to as being fairy circles and have been mentioned in local myths for centuries. These stories talk of how these red circles with fringes of grass are the footprints of gods, or clumps of land that have been poisoned by an evil dragon that lives underground. Those explanations are, of course, pretty fantastical. Scientifically founded proposals for their formation are also extremely varied, and researchers are having a hard time agreeing on their cause. One paper suggested the circles are caused as a result of termites whose activity underground affects what's happening on the surface. Another says the cause is natural competition between desert grasses. No one knows for sure, but the phenomenon seems to be spreading. At first, it was only seen in the Namib Desert, but in recent years, it has also been spotted in Western Australia. These new ones are so similar to the ones in Namibia that it raises the further mystery of how the formations have begun to spread so far away. Number 3. The South Atlantic Anomaly. The Earth's magnetic field is not as constant as you may initially think, with one region showing some very unusual signs. Known as the South Atlantic Anomaly, it covers a huge area between Chile to Zimbabwe, throughout which the magnetic field appears to be weakening. This is a factor that space scientists have to take into account because the anomaly affects electronics on satellites so much that they have to make sure to avoid it. It's a known fact that the Earth's poles switch, with the last reversal occurring about 780,000 years ago, and some think that the weakening that is happening above the Atlantic could be the first sign of this happening again. The problem is there's very little historical data available for this area in comparison to others, so it's unclear whether this is unusual or is something that has always been the case. The strongest theory is that it's happening because of the African Large Low Shear Velocity Province, a huge reservoir of dense rock that sits about 1,800 miles beneath the African continent. It's positioned between the crust and the liquid core and may be responsible for interfering with the magnetic forces emanating from the center of the planet. Far more research is needed to fully understand this, though, and it could be the key to discovering when the next pole reversal will occur. Number 2. The sounds of the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights are one of the most stunning natural displays you can see anywhere on Earth. It has long been understood why the colors streak across the sky in the way that they do, but there is one element to the phenomenon that still can't be explained: the fact that sometimes they make noises. One witness managed to record the noises and liken them to the blasters in Star Wars. He heard the sounds in Sweden. While watching the display in the sky, he noticed them coming from the direction of nearby power lines. Other people have also claimed to have heard things such as hisses, crackles, and loud claps coming from the aurora. It seems like the Star Wars blaster fire sound coming from the Northern Lights is traveling through power lines, freaking everybody out. The scientific community is still debating the reason why this happens, with many not even believing it occurs in the first place. They claim it is just a figment of people's imaginations. Number 1. The Devil's Sea. The Devil's Sea, which is also known as the Dragon's Triangle, is just off the coast of Japan in the Pacific Ocean. The region stretches from Japan to the islands of Bonin and also covers a large swath of the Philippine Sea. It's a place that exhibits much stronger electromagnetic waves than is normal elsewhere on the planet, and this leads to some strange effects. The first records of mysterious happenings here come from the 13th century when Kublai Khan, the grandson of Genghis Khan, attempted to invade Japan twice. On both occasions, the ships and a total of 40,000 people were apparently lost within the triangle, never to be seen again. In the early 20th century, numerous fishing vessels and 5 military vessels went missing within the triangle. This led in 1952 to the deployment of the Kaiomaru No. 5 research ship to investigate what was happening. But this ship too went missing. The wreckage was eventually found, but there was no sign of what had happened to the crew. There are a number of conflicting theories about what is causing the disappearances, because stronger electromagnetic waves shouldn't be causing this on their own. Some think it could be the combination of hot and cold ocean currents here, or maybe it's to do with a series of subsea volcanoes, with eruptions proving to be deadly for anyone passing by at the time. Further research is definitely needed to fully understand the Devil's Sea, something people are understandably hesitant to do because of the inherent risks involved in traveling to the area. Thanks for watching! Do you have any explanations for these mysterious places? Let us all know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye!